This podcast is brought to you by the Ginger Camel Network. Visit us at www.gingercamelnetwork.com. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to Your Onion Podcast Show. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Grant Marais. Is that how you pronounce it?
Marais. It's actually
Marais.
Yeah, kind of French. French and Scottish. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll be interested to find out more about that. And Grant, you're the Chef de Cuisine at the Marriott Marquis City Center Doha.
Correct.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So can you let us know what your responsibilities are in your current role?
All right. Currently, I take care of the steakhouse. So I do all the specialities in the meats and certain sides. We do a little bit of seafood. I take care of a team of a couple of chefs. We open up for lunch, for dinner. And I do a little bit on the side as well for the other restaurants, a little bit of outside catering, some specialities. I also take care of certain trainings, certain classes. So they keep me busy.
Yeah. And how long you been here in Qatar?
Just over 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not a newbie.
No, not at all.
Okay. So I'm always curious with all the chefs that come on, how did you get involved, or who inspired you to become a chef, or cooking in general?
Cooking in general. As a kid, my grandparents were master bakers. They had their own bakery.
Oh, really?
So yeah, did a lot of baking at home. My father, he used to be the inspector of the country's navy. So you go around the whole country inspecting kitchens and take care of that. My mother's actually, she's kind of a general manager at the moment. And yeah, my uncle then, when I met him, he was a chef as well. So it kind of runs in our blood.
Ah, okay.
So yeah.
And this is, and from the accent, it's South Africa. Are we talking about South Africa here?
South Africa, yeah.
So whereabouts in South Africa?
Johannesburg.
Okay.
I grew up in Pretoria till about 19 years old, and I moved to Johannesburg, and that's where it all started.
Yeah.
Because I actually took a job in Johannesburg, which was my first job as a chef, and then moved to Johannesburg.
So did you went through the whole school system? Did you bother going to university, or you just went, okay, no, that's not for me? Did the whole school thing. I thought I studied enough.
I'm going to try a couple of things. Then eventually, one of my mom's friends said, listen, you should try becoming a chef. And I said no. And then 2 years later...
Oh, so you rebelled against it?
Yes.
Even though you're saying it's in the blood,
yes.
But you were fighting it. You wanted...
The family did it, so it's time for something else.
And did you have any idea what you wanted to do, something else? Or you just thought, no, I'll go with the flow and then...
Just basically enjoy 2-3 years of my young life and then eventually find something. But then... Nothing.
So your friend suggested, why don't you become a chef?
Yeah, because we always, after the weekend on a Sunday, get together with the family, the friend's family, just make a whole bunch of stuff, casseroles, baked dishes. And I always got involved, and the guys were busy playing some Xbox or PlayStation, and I was in the kitchen. So they suggested I should try it. And then...
So what was your first position?
It was commie.
Okay.
I was a commie 1 for about 3 years. Then they...
And how did you get in? You know, can you just rack up and, say, hey, I want to...
No, not really. One of my mom's friends, who was an executive chef at the time in Ghana, came over and they had a conversation, and she probably mentioned that I've got no direction. I'm still young. I have no plans. And then we sat down, had a cup of coffee, and then decided, listen, I have something for you. Just try it out. And then I was like, okay, cool. Let's go check it out. And
where was this? Back in Ghana?
No, in South Africa.
Oh, he had something in South Africa.
Yeah, in South Africa. Yeah. So I went to go check it out, and then spoke to the owner of the place, and he says, just when you want to start. So I was like, me always being eager to start something new. This was the Friday. I said, I can start Monday. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, okay, cool. Come Monday. And since then, I was in love.
That's it. That was the whole journey.
Yeah.
But I know you say you're in love, but to me, it seems a lot of hard work, being on your feet, and literally, cooking and preparing stuff. And then by the end of the evening, or by the end of the day, you've got nothing to prove that you've actually done anything because everyone's eaten it.
Yes, of course. For me, hard work is sitting behind a PC for 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah, true.
That's hard for me.
Okay.
I need to be active. I need to be involved in seeing people, training people. That's what drives us. It's that action. It's the stress. It's the heat. That's what we get excited about. That's why we do it. It's something completely different.
And the stress and
we love the stress.
Yeah.
Completely love the stress.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you took this journey. You were doing that job for 3 years, and then what happened after that? Was there an opportunity, or did you see an advert? How did you get the next position?
Well, at that time as a Commie 1, I worked.
And what does a Commie 1 do? What is their responsibilities?
They do all the dirty work.
Okay.
Well, give us all the peeling of carrots, potatoes,
so it's all
washing
the prep.
lettuce. Yeah, it's all the prep. So
for 3 years you did that.
They kind of put you in the training to understand how you should learn different techniques, cutting methods. That kind of grows you into your experience of technique and understanding the whole concept of preparing food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then after that?
After that,
what's the next step?
I was at a catering company, and so we did functions up to 2,300 people, sometimes plated 800 people. So we were so involved that they gave me my own team. They gave me my own keys to the shop within the year. So
hold on. So that's coming after 3 years of just prepping food.
Yeah.
And then you had the opportunity to actually run your own team.
It's all about how you organize yourself, it's all about the commitment and the work you put in.
Yeah.
If they see that you devoted in doing this, then they put more trust in you. They give you more responsibility.
Right.
And that's all about growing from Commie 1 to demi chef to chef de party. It's all about their responsibility.
Okay, so what's demi chef?
So demi chef is kind of just the upgrade from a commie.
Yeah.
Still does quite a bit of the mise en place, the workload.
Yeah.
But also does a little bit of organizing of the kitchen, such as the chillers, the stores, picking up ingredients, ordering.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And then demi 1 to
chef de party, which is your
chef de party.
Yeah, chef de party.
Which means what? What does that mean?
Actually, chef de party. We only know it as chef de party. I know there's a terminology for it, but it's the chef.
So is the chef de party the actual one that puts everything together?
They are the ones that look after the Commie 1's demi chefs.
Okay.
Do the mise en place as well as organizing, because they're kind of the supervisors.
Right.
They kind of the pillars in the restaurants, because they report to the chef de cuisines, and as well ensure that the team is also doing the correct work. So
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
They also work pretty hard though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were working for this catering company.
Mm.
They gave you. How long were you working there?
I was there for 4 years.
And your position was literally
from commie straight to chef de party.
Chef de party.
Yeah.
After that,
I decided to move on.
And this was still in South Africa?
Still in South Africa. I tried to take on more challenges. I went to a little boutique hotel. I worked there for about a year as a sous chef.
And a sous chef, what do?
They are basically, they run the whole operation when inside the kitchen. They run the team, they do the ordering, they order, ensure that the team, the rosters, the payroll, all of that.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. And then...
so you were doing that for a year?
Yeah, I did that for about a year, and...
still in South Africa?
Still in South Africa.
Johannesburg?
Still in Johannesburg.
Okay.
And then...
were you still living at home?
No. No, by the time I got the Commie 1 job...
that was it?
The whole family decided to leave the country.
Oh.
My mom decided to go to Nigeria, Nigeria that time. My brother decided he was going to go to Zimbabwe, that area. My father was still there, but we didn't spend much time. I was always busy working.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Were you the youngest?
No, I'm the eldest.
Oh, you're the eldest.
Yeah.
It was like, once you've, flown the nest, then we can do whatever we want to do.
Yes, of course. So I think they were just waiting for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the sous chef. Was it the
Sous chef? Yeah.
Sous chef
Yeah.
for this boutique hotel?
Yeah.
And then where did you go?
From them, I decided to take a step down back to chef de party. I went to a bigger operation.
Still in Johannesburg.
Still in Johannesburg.
Okay.
in
Did you not
Sandton.
want to, branch out further?
You know, home is home, man.
Yeah.
You had your friends there. At that time, I didn't think about it.
No.
And then eventually became a chef de party. Started at the Radisson.
That's when you go into a bigger.
Yeah, it was about a 300-room hotel. I ran the hot section, did all the soups, the hot starters. Did that for about a year, and then they promoted me to sous chef. Did that for another year, and that's when everyone that was outside the country, my brother, my mother, you need to leave. It's better, the experience, the money. And I was like, it's not about the money. It's about the right place of going. Because in this career, it's all about the right experience, the right training. It's about your career, your growth.
So,
yeah. You can go to the best restaurants and still learn nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all about taking the right step. It makes it easier for you.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
So how old were you when you decided, okay, it's time to leave Johannesburg?
29.
Okay.
I was 29.
Yeah.
I was like, I moved on from the sous chef from the Radisson to the convention center where my friend was working. And I was there for a couple of months. And then that's when I decided, no, I need to leave.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And where did you go?
I came here.
Oh, this was your next.
This was it.
So how old are you then? How old are you now?
33.
Oh, still a youngster.
Still completely young.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You've still got a whole life ahead of you.
Yes.
So, who inspired you? If you look at all the chefs out there, is there anyone that you follow or inspires you in the cooking world?
Yeah, I must admit,
Do you follow them? Do you follow anyone?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Ramsey himself.
Really?
I've always enjoyed Ramsey, just the way he is.
Are you like that in the kitchen?
No, not at all. Not at all. Times have changed. We have to adapt to it. People are not as physically and emotionally strong as what they were back in the 80s and 90s. So therefore, we have to adapt.
You have to adapt.
Yes, of course.
So what's your kind of management technique?
Mine is
style.
My style is a more relaxed and a more relaxed approach.
Yeah.
I would say, and there's no need to throw pans. There's no need to throw knives, cutting boards at people anymore. There's no need.
Well, I hope not.
No.
Yeah, but that's. Do you think that's part of the entertainment? You know, that's TV. Then
yes.
you have to. If he was a bit laid back, then no one really watch it.
That is true, because there were more hardcore chefs than him. His mentor, Marco White, was ruthless.
Oh, really?
Completely ruthless. But one of the best chefs in the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, amazing chef.
But why do they do that? Why? What is it? Is it because they are so? Is it the whole stress that comes out, and then they have to literally vent that on everyone else? Or
in a way, yeah. But back then, it was all about discipline, and discipline was dished out by a little bit of aggression.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and everyone listened then. Everyone was like, yes, chef, yes, chef.
Yeah,
no
but do you
problem.
think now people are like, yeah, whatever? If you took that tact.
If you took it, a lot of people would take it very offensively, very personally.
Yeah.
It's not something that you direct against a certain person. You have nothing against them. They take it completely the wrong way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you have this kind of more relaxed approach.
Yeah.
So you follow Ramsey, but is there anyone else that has that kind of more laid back approach that you follow?
At the moment, I think everyone is moving towards that direction.
Right, yeah.
I think that 80s, 70s style has completely left the kitchen.
Yeah.
You might find one or two chefs that are like that, but they must be having a bad day.
And what would you say is your kind of favorite dish, signature dish that you like cooking?
I'm really good at, I'm very inspired about your sauces, stocks. because that's your base. That is the beginning. You know, if you don't start off right with a great stock to finish off with a great sauce, there's no point in eating that.
It's funny you say that, because that's what stood out when we did the business lunch review at the New York Steakhouse.
Yeah.
It was the sauces, but it was that whole. Yeah, look, I'm not a food critique, but I just go with what I like and, you know, what flavors I feel in my mouth, and I just basically say what I'm tasting, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was, you know, you had, for the steak, it was like a rich sauce, but then you had something else that kind of took the edge, made it lighter.
Yeah. It's that's where all the blood, sweat, and tears goes in. That's when you start off. We do the stock for about 3-4 days.
Oh, really?
Going that on the stove, and then we clean it up. It's just how you do it. It's what you put into it is what you get out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not something that you want to do in 10 minutes.
No.
You're not going to get any benefit out of it.
Yeah.
So doing it properly, doing it the best way you can, combining the right flavors, the right ingredients, you get the best product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's funny, since we've been doing the business lunch review, I've noticed that when we do get to meet the chefs like yourself, and then you can really tell the ones that are really passionate about what they do comes out in their food.
Of course.
The ones that are just, you know, coming over here for experience, or, you know, they're going up the ladder and they're not, you know, it's their job.
Yes.
But you'd see that then there is no passion, or not passion, but, you know, you've got to be passionate about.
It's that drive.
Yes.
Because you have to define yourself. Are you gonna just be a chef and just grow up the ranks just because it's that line of work?
Yeah.
Or you're gonna grow as wanting to be the best that you can be, and best try and reach for the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I always, you know, kind of compare it to being an artist, is that you get these fantastic artists that, you know, you look at a picture and the colors pop out and it just says a lot. Or you get the ones that can probably replicate stuff, but there is no passion behind it. And that's what I feel with the chefs, is that is your art. You're basically giving me a work of art that I can literally taste with my
of course.
taste buds.
That's what it is. It is art. It is a
No, I never really
art.
appreciated it before until we started to do this whole business lunch.
Yeah.
And trying those the food. So what's your future goal? Where would you like to be?
Well,
you know, because you're young, you're 33.
Yeah. I think give or take another 3-4 years being a chef, and then opening up my own place somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really,
back in Johannesburg.
I would not say South Africa at the moment. Give or take somewhere, maybe Europe, somewhere Australia, New Zealand side.
Yeah.
So yeah, open up shop there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And have you seen? You know, we talked on the kind of the kitchen side, but have you seen a change in the kind of clientele and what people appreciate?
Yes. I mean, when I started to where we are now, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this phases. 5 years ago, it was that fine dining phase. Everything was chemicals. Everything was certain purees and certain jellies and gels.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know, the smaller the better, and the more you pay for it.
Yeah.
That kind of it's changed now. Everyone's going towards now the more homely, rich, cooked food. You know, they want that greasy, filled, fat burger instead of having that little streak of, say now, beetroot puree with this little piece of steak with confit, nectarines. They kind of move that. They're bored of that now.
Yeah.
Now it's all about flavors. It's all about combining the right ingredients, and the bigger the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question, then it's just gone straight out of my head. Oh yeah. Do you? You've been here 3 years.
Yeah.
Do you? Is there like a networking group for chefs? Do you meet the other chefs from the other hotels?
Not as much as we should. That is something key. that you should keep doing. Keep in contact with other chefs around. I know the executive chefs, the big guys of the hotels, they keep in contact with each other on a daily basis. With us, I would say it's maybe on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Not as much as you should, I guess, because you're more involved in the kitchen. Your time is taken up, but no excuses. It's good to have that relationship because you know what's going on.
Yeah.
You learn something new. Someone can always say something. They could always, if you've been trying to figure out something, trying to do something, you speak to someone else that has a solution. So yeah.
Yeah. How do you keep up to date with the current trends, the different types of recipes, or how do you find out? Keep yourself up to date with what's popular.
It's
trying new dishes, because trying new dishes, surely that is with your experience of working with other chefs or going to different places. How do you?
It's just doing your research. I mean, social media is there. Social media is bigger than ever.
Yeah.
You use
internet? Social media, yeah.
Yeah. You just have a look around. If you want to try something different, you look for different things on the internet. Try different concepts, different techniques. You always research, okay, this year is 2019. So at the end of 2018, you look at what is 2019's food. What is the vegetable? Sorry. What is the vegetable of 2019?
Oh, really?
What is the trend of 2019? Is it going towards burgers? Is it going towards pastas? Is it going towards casseroles? So you always look for that trend, and then you work towards that.
Yeah, because there's a whole drive to burgers at the moment. It just seems to be everyone's gone burger crazy. There's burger joints popping up all over the place.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that.
Oh, well, I'm a big fan of burgers now, especially when you get a good, decent burger. When they first started, the different burger places, I always felt that the burgers were too big. They were trying too hard, and it was quite dry.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they've got it right. Whether they're playing around with the ingredients, adding ingredients into the meat, it just seems to be working much better. I don't know what they're doing, but
for me, I'm not a plain person. I'm not boring. In other words, I like to spice things up. So I like to try something different.
Yeah.
And doing a plain a US Angus beef patty is not going to cut it for me.
No.
Oh,
so you do play around with it.
I have a secret recipe for my own burger, and actually that won me 2017 best burger in Qatar at that time.
Oh wow!
So
congrats.
Thank you.
Did you get an award?
Yes, I got an award. I got a little trophy, little medal.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah. Very good.
And after that, everyone's just said, okay, we need you to do the burger. We need you to do the burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's all about keeping the burger as juicy as possible. You want rich flavors to come forward. You want to taste the meat. So you need to use ingredients which enhances the meat flavor.
Absolutely.
And still kind of keeps it moist.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Do you see yourself being here for the World Cup? Are you aiming to stick around for the World Cup, or you're not bothered?
Being a footy fan.
Oh, you are a footy fan.
Yes.
You're not a rugby fan.
Actually, I am. Actually, I am. But for some reason, the transition in becoming a chef, it's all about football. There's no rugby.
Really?
Yeah, it was all because my boss was English, so it was all about the football, and we spoke about it. And back then, 2010, South Africa, we had the World Cup as well, so we catered for it. So yeah, that's something I might actually look into, because you meet a lot of new people. The country's buzzing. It's live, and hopefully you get to meet some of the players.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you get a good footfall in the Marriott? Do you get to meet celebs or?
Yes, of course. I've met
stars?
one or two of the Premier League's managers, actually.
Yeah.
Harry Redknapp was one of them. So, and then a couple of others. You meet tennis players. You meet the national team sometimes. So yeah.
Has that surprised you? Coming from Johannesburg?
No. Because back then we had.
Did you get?
Yeah, the rugby. We always had
the
Aussies. We always had the Kiwis come in. It was easy to walk into them.
Yeah.
Because back at home, it's free. There's no security needed with the with the teams itself. So they'll go to the mall and then you eventually run into them. You see everyone go crazy and you're just sitting there eating your burger like, it's only rugby. Yeah.
Superb. Well, thank you, Grant. Thank you
Right.
for coming on the show and, telling your story and giving us an insight into, what goes on in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And I look forward to experience your, food again.
Definitely.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please come over.
Yeah. Thank you, Grant. Cheers. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch up with you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. This podcast has been brought to you by the Ginger Camel Network. Visit us at www.gingercamelnetwork.com.